took a little break. We stayed in our country. We stayed in our country for a little while. We took a little break and we stayed right in our country. But we didn't forget about the rest of the world.
No way.
And right now, my friends, you know this is the end of our staying in our country, because right now, my friends, we're going around the world. We're going around the world, going around the world with Rebekah.
That's me.
Yay! We're back!
Hello, my friends.
We're back and we're gone. I mean, we're back in the United States, doing this show, but we're gone because we're going around the world.
Yes. Well, my friends, welcome. My name is Miss Rebekah with the Shaler North Hills Library. That's Miss Ingrid behind the iPad.
Hi!
And welcome to Around the World with Miss Rebekah. That's me.
The first episode of season
3?
Yes!
Fall 2021. My friends, we really enjoy going around the world here Around the World with Miss Rebekah because
we did.
Let's lay it all out there, just in case you've missed any of the other shows.
Which I doubt.
Oh,
Yeah.
My friends, this is the United States of America. We are coming to you from a suburb outside of Pittsburgh, right in this little circle. And sometimes it feels like, or it's hard to believe that there's all kinds of stuff out of the circles that we inhabit.
Unless you've seen the show.
Well, that's true. Sometimes it feels like just the people we know and always see, that's it. And that's just how everybody is and what everybody looks like or sounds like. But no, there's this big, beautiful world filled with wonderful humans, all sorts of humans, just like how you're all sorts of humans. And I'm just a human. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, we just like to go around the world and take like a teeny weeny glimpse at these other countries.
Beep.
That's all.
And you can go to the link that's scrolling above and find out even more information.
Yes.
About where we're going, where we went.
It's always good to just continuously learn about places, and it is just such a life tool to have a handy map. Because a lot of times in life, you hear of different places, and you think, where's that place? Or you think you know where the place is, and you don't. So, it's just fantastic to have a map to reference. Like,
what would make it easier, though, to reference where something is? A globe.
We're not going to talk about the globe. Well, we will, a little bit. Okay. My friends, for those of you who have never seen Around the World with Miss Rebekah, Miss Ingrid can act a little wild sometimes. And she wanted to have a globe. A globe is a round map that spins around.
It's shaped like the world.
Yes, because it's round.
Yep.
And she was spreading some misinformation, which is not helpful to anybody. And so she lost her globe privileges.
For 2 seasons.
She is not able to bring her globe to Around the World with Miss Rebekah. Because there are consequences.
But there might be a chance if I restore, there's a little chance that we could maybe have the globe at one point in the season. Maybe. If I can go the whole season without spreading any misinformation.
That's a maybe. That is how, like, when I was little and I'd ask my mom something and I'd get a, we'll see.
Okay. All right. We'll see.
So.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. So, my friends, we're finally going to get to where we're going. Won't you come with me to Scotland?
Scotland!
Which is here, we'll say.
Around there. Because it's part of
the United Kingdom. Which, we don't get into those details.
No, because, well, on the page, you'll see what it's like.
Well, that's fine, because here we're just briefest of overviews, just so we know there's other places out there.
Is the Loch Ness Monster from Scotland? The legend of the Loch Ness Monster?
Shall we find out?
Okay, I just didn't know. I just thought of that right now.
Scotland. We're back to our good old series, Countries We Come From. This book is by Jessica Rudolph. These are non-fiction books.
True stuff.
Scotland. Non-fiction has our table of contents. So say we wanted to just skip right to about the author, we know we'd go to page 32. Follow me to page 32.
Okay.
Let's find out about the author.
Okay. And may I just say, may I make just one observation? Did you notice that I did not say that the boy on the cover was from any other country?
You just did.
Because he's not.
Page 32. You just did. About the author. Jessica Rudolph lives in Connecticut. She has edited and written many books about history, science, and nature for children.
And now one about Scotland.
There you go.
And I didn't also make a comment about how she might not want to go to Scotland because she didn't mention that she wanted to.
You just did, though.
Because we don't know. But I just wanted to point that out, that I've been well behaved this first season.
Well,
okay.
I see your subtle
Okay.
disruptions. My friends, let me point out, perhaps our author, Jessica Rudolph, has not visited Scotland, but let me assure you, you can learn so much and love something so much and never have visited the place or seen the animal or ridden on a train. That doesn't stop you from learning about something.
Because, you love dinosaurs.
I do love dinosaurs.
And I love Judy Garland, and I wasn't born before she died.
See? So it doesn't make you any less of a knowledgeable human about Judy Garland. Okay, now that 45 minutes have passed, my friends, let's get to...
Only 7 minutes and 16 seconds.
Really felt like 45. My friends, this is Scotland. It is rugged, traditional, and busy. Scotland is a country in Europe. It's located on a large island called Great Britain. More than 5 million people live in Scotland. Scottish people are often called Scots. What types of land are in Scotland? There are deep lakes and hundreds of islands. In Scotland, lakes are called lochs, which, my friends, I never knew. I am 41 years old, and I never knew that the word loch meant lake in Scotland.
That's okay. That's
I never
cool.
knew that. And I was like, that's why. And so many pieces of a puzzle came together for me.
Yeah.
The tallest mountains are in the Highlands in the north. This is Phaedra Island.
Yeah.
Scotland's most famous lake is Loch Ness. It's said to be the home of the Loch Ness Monster, or Nessie. There have been many reported sightings of Nessie, yet no one has proven that the giant creature exists. This photo was taken in 1934. Could it be Nessie? What do you think? Did you get a look at that, Miss Ingrid?
I don't know.
Some people say the monster is related to a dinosaur. Others think it's a hoax. These are visitors to Loch Ness. This is a plesiosaur. But plesiosaurs that we know of weren't around in 1934.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if it's been spotted since then.
People have lived in Scotland for thousands of years. On the island of mainland, there are ruins of a village called Skara Brae. In the stone houses, archaeologists found tables, beds, and even toilets. The ruins of Skara Brae are 5,000 years old. During much of its history, Scotland was at war with England. The Scots fought to be free from English rule. In 1707, England and Scotland agreed to form one government. Finally, there was peace. Today, Scotland and England are part of a nation called the United Kingdom. However, Scotland also has its own government. Scotland's capital is Edinburgh. There's a lot to do there. People can tour Edinburgh Castle. The castle was built in the 1100s. They can also go to festivals that celebrate music and art. Scots work many kinds of jobs. Some raise animals such as Highland cattle on farms. Others fish for haddock and mackerel in the ocean. Many Scottish people work on oil rigs. They drill for oil at the bottom of the North Sea. I never knew that was
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
Most people in Scotland speak English. Some people also speak Scottish Gaelic. In Gaelic, this is how you say my name is. Smice. Smasha.
Smisha.
Ingrid, have at it.
Smish. Shish. Boomba.
Smasha.
Smusha.
Welcome to Scotland.
Yeah.
A sign written in English and Scottish Gaelic. Many people also speak Scots. Scots words include lassie and laddie. These words mean girl and boy.
Yeah. That's cool.
Scotland is well known for the bagpipes. This instrument is played at parades and other events. It has an eerie, droning sound and can be heard miles away. Bagpipers usually wear traditional Scottish kilts. Many famous writers have come from Scotland. In 1904, J.M. Barrie wrote a play called Peter Pan. It's about a boy who can fly and never grows up. In the late 1800s, Arthur Conan Doyle created stories about a detective named Sherlock Holmes. Many movies and TV shows have been made about him. Might I suggest The Hound of the Baskervilles?
Oh, yeah, you read that when you were a kid, right?
Yes, in middle school.
Yeah.
And just the vibe of it stayed with me. I just loved
Yeah.
it. Loved it.
I've never read any Sherlock Holmes.
Mrs. Rittenhouse. I'm sorry, Miss Rittenhouse is
Miss
signed it.
Rittenhouse.
There's some movie posters.
She didn't retire all that too long ago.
Didn't she?
I mean, like when I was in the park, she was still there.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
Well, I guess too. I had her in middle school.
Yeah.
So she could have been in her 40s.
Right. You're like, what?
I mean, I have no idea
Yeah,
how old she was.
yeah.
The national food of Scotland is haggis. This dish is made of minced sheep's organs, oatmeal, and seasonings. The ingredients are boiled in the stomach of a sheep.
But what is it?
For dessert, many Scots eat delicious Dundee cakes. They're made with fruits and almonds.
It looks, yeah.
Hey, to each their own.
To each their own, that's right.
their own.
That's right.
That's why there's such a wide variety
That's right.
to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
The Highland Games are athletic competitions held across Scotland every year. The most difficult event is the caber toss. Athletes toss a long tree trunk that can weigh up to 175 pounds. Other events include the hammer throw and the tug of war.
I hate tug of war.
Facts.
It's so hard.
Capital city, Edinburgh. Population of Scotland, more than 5 million humans. Main languages, English, Scottish Gaelic, Scots. Money, the pound. Major religion, Christianity. Neighboring country, England. Cool fact. Golf was invented in Scotland. There are hundreds of golf courses throughout the country. People from all over the world travel to Scotland to play golf there. My friends, let's visit our glossary. That's where we get some words to find. Now, throughout the book, you may not have been able to see it from your vantage point, but when you had a bolded word, it defines it in the glossary. So archaeologists, science who learn about ancient times by studying things they dig up, such as tools. Capital, a city where a country's government is based. Hoax, a trick that makes people believe something that is not true. Kilts, knee-length skirts worn by Scottish men. Minced, cut up into very small pieces. Oil rigs, platforms used to drill for oil beneath the ocean floor.
You know what I was thinking, Miss Rebekah, while you were reading that?
What?
I was thinking about the many Scottish elements that we have here in Pittsburgh, because a lot of Scots settled in Pittsburgh and around the area. Have you ever seen the Scottish Highland? They have Highland games here in Pittsburgh. And then have you ever gone to the Laurel Highlands, like where Falling Water is?
Yes.
Yeah, it's named after that. And then also, there's Highland School District up in Naturna Heights. And so the Scottish have a big presence here in Pittsburgh.
Well, that is interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And I remember there were a lot, not a lot of people, but there were guys at college that wore kilts. They were cute. But I don't know if they wore them to be ironic. I don't know if ironic was a thing back in the early 90s.
I'm sure some level of irony has always been a thing.
Yeah.
For different reasons.
I've been to a funeral where there have been bagpipers.
Well, they had said bagpipers were, what term did they use?
Eerie.
Haunting? Eerie?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they can be, but I don't think they always are. Just like all instruments have such a range.
Oh, and I also thought about Edinburgh in Pittsburgh. I'm in Pennsylvania, the city of Edinburgh. That's people, because people from Edinburgh came here and made Edinburgh.
My friends.
What are we going to hear about today? Uh-oh. Is that Nessie?
No, it's our little dinosaur friends. My friends, normally we have a nonfiction book to go along with our country, but today we have a fiction book.
And it wasn't because Scotland was on the boring side.
The Loch Ness Monster by Helen Lester, illustrated by Lynn Munsinger.
I love Helen Lester. I never read this.
The Loch Ness Monster. Here we go.
Is that a tam that the monster has in his head?
A tam?
Is that what they're called?
It's a hat.
Yeah, those kind of hats aren't they called a tam?
I call it a hat.
Okay.
It might be called a tam.
Or maybe that's an Irish.
My friends, the Loch Ness Monster. Glossary of Scottish terms in order of appearance.
Okay.
So the Scottish term is loch, which is a lake, wee laddie, little boy, skirps, drips, puggy knit, peanut, hummy dotties, mittens, grody, dirty, tatties, potatoes, Heeland coo, Highland cow, peely wally, sick. Now I want to tell you, I'm not even going to attempt a Scottish accent. I cannot.
Dude, I can't even imagine the Scottish accent.
In faraway Scotland, there was a famous lake called Loch Ness, and the legend had it that deep in this lake lived a monster. No one had ever seen it. But guess what? The legend was false. In truth, way, way down at the bottom of Loch Ness, there lived not one, but 3 monsters. There was Nessie, her husband, Fergus, and wee laddie, Angus. There's Angus. From the time he was a baby, Angus's parents had taught him the 5 basic monster rules. 5. Never behave in a monstrous manner. 4. Never eat with your thumbs. 3. Always say excuse me when you cough, sneeze, or burp. 2. Always pick up after yourself. And 1. Never, ever, ever go up to the surface of the loch. So Angus was well behaved, ate with a spoon, and said excuse me when he coughed, sneezed, or burped. But as he grew bigger, so did his messes. Mother Nessie skidded across the floor on Angus's slimy lochweed collection and crashed into Father Fergus. Father Fergus tripped over Angus's fishy dolls and landed in the porridge. Angus loved the action. His parents did not. "Have you noticed that our laddie leaves skirps all over his dishes?" they asked. "And Puggy knit shells on the floor? And that his hummy-doddies are hopelessly mixed up? And that we're surrounded by grody laundry?" What had happened to their tidy home? Angus had happened. It was time to enforce basic monster rule number 2. Always pick up after yourself.
I wonder if he took the lid off the glue sticks and didn't put them back on.
So Angus's parents told him that while they loved him very, very much, until he cleaned up after himself, he would have to stay in his room so that his stuff would stop spreading. Meanwhile, they would deliver his daily meal of milk and tatties in a can. So Angus went off to his room. In the days that followed, he didn't feel lonesome, for he had so much interesting stuff. Every day he would play with his toys, tossing each one on the floor when he had finished. Before long, the floor was full. So Angus tossed his used items onto the bed.
Angus, this is not going to end well.
And a monstrously messy mountain began to grow. Books and toys, rock collection, slimy lockweed, ew! Fishy dolls, tatty cans, hummy-doddies too. Grody laundry, puggy knits, spoon and skirpy cup. Mousy, messy mountain moving higher up and up and up. At night, as was his habit, Angus would check to be sure there were no monsters under the bed. Then he would strap on his mountain gear and make the long climb to his lumpy sleeping perch. Each night this climb took a little longer, because each day he added, books and toys, rock collection, slimy lockweed, ew! Fishy dolls, tatty cans, hummy-doddies too. Grody laundry, puggy knits, spoon and skirpy cup. Messy mountain moving higher up, up, up. Not only was the climb a long way up, on the nights when Angus fell out of bed, which happens, it was a long way down. Now, Angus was beginning to miss his parents. He was uncomfortable on his lumpy bed and dreadfully hot as he neared the sun on the surface of the Loch.
Yeah, see?
Surface of the Loch. Angus had forgotten basic monster rule number 1. Never, ever, ever go up to the surface of the Loch. But here was Angus, rising. Meanwhile, 3 friends gathered on the shores of Loch Ness. A duck, a goat, and a Hieland coo looked out over the water as they had every morning for years, waiting patiently for the Loch Ness monster to appear. And at last, on this particular morning, they saw a wee ripple way out on the loch. Could it possibly be? They focused their camera, binoculars, and telescope, and what they saw was Sloppy Angus, just awakening and rising on his bed, or what once had been his bed. "Ah, what a mess!" exclaimed the 3 observers. The trio sadly shook their heads. "It's nae the Loch Ness monster. 'Tis the Loch Ness monster." The little one had enormous feet that could And what did Angus see on the shore? What he saw made him feel absolutely peely-wally. Monstrous land monsters! The little one had enormous feet that could probably stomp you flat in a second.
Yeah,
the middle one had a hairy chin, fierce spears on his noggin, and big googly eyes. And the big one must have been 500 feet tall, with a long green snout, and it made the most horrible sound. Moo! 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 Time to move! Suddenly, Sloppy Angus wanted to clean up. He gathered up as much of his stuff as his arms could hold and climbed down, down, down to the bottom of his mountain.
Nice.
"Let's see, slimy lockweed on the shelf, puggy knit shells in the laundry basket, books and toys in the garbage, grody laundry in the fish tank." No, wait, that wasn't right. Slimy lockweed in the fish tank, grody laundry in the basket, puggy knit shells in the garbage, books and toys on the shelf. Now, Angus remembered.
Good job.
And up he went for another load, up and down, load after load, until at last all of his stuff had been found a place. Books and toys, rock collection, slimy lockweed, ew. Fishy dolls, tatty cans, hummy dotties too. Grody laundry, puggy knits, spoon and skirpy cup. Messy mountain is no more, Angus cleaned it up.
Nice.
Angus was thrilled to see his parents, and as he passed by them, he called cheerfully, I'm off to wash my dishes and recycle my tatties into cans.
Oh.
His mother and father were concerned. Are ye peely-wally, laddie? But Angus was not peely-wally. He was just glad to be plain Angus instead of sloppy Angus. That night, he had a wonderful dinner with his parents and land monster-free dreams in his smooth coal bed.
Oh.
Epilogue.
Oh, okay.
But Angus didn't want his parents to think he was perfect, so once in a while, he acted a little bit monstrous and left a very wee mess. Ew.
No, I think he's just throwing peanut shells.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The end.
That was awesome. Miss Rebekah, I love that story.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Fun combo with Scotland.
Yeah.
So, my friends, thank you so much for journeying around the world with myself, Miss Rebekah, and Miss Ingrid.
We went around the world to some locks.
Which means like,
we went around the world and back. Now we're here back in Pittsburgh and still it is raining.
and it will be.
And I wonder if it'll be raining when we take our next trip abroad.
Perhaps.
We went around the world with Rebekah. We went to Scotland and oh, it was fun. And I behaved myself. I didn't tell one untruth today. I referred to them, but that is not the same. It was just for a teachable moment. It was just a show. No, it was
just to interject it.
We went around the world with Rebekah.
That's
we
me.
might get a globe.
Probably not.
Bye.